Good morning, guys. And it's early in the morning. I think it's about 6:30, somewhere there. I haven't even checked the time. No makeup. If there is eyeliner, it's left over from the night before. And I just wanted to share some early morning thoughts before just looking at the sky outside. So I'm sitting against with the window facing me. Just share some early morning thoughts before the world gets into my head too much. Because it is an odd thing. If I'm talking funny, I bit my lip yesterday and it's still healing. It's an odd thing being on YouTube, especially now that it's like my living. Not that I'm earning, let's just bring that down. Not that I'm earning enough to really, I could never live off the little that I've earned so far. But yesterday I sat down to record my review of Ali Abdaals PTYA, so the Part-Time YouTubers Academy. I really want to give an honest review, and it's hard to gather your thoughts. It's hard to actually give a review because my feelings about the course could be different to someone else's feelings about the course. So, I can gather my thoughts, but I don't want to put somebody off who would actually benefit from the course. But I also would hate to encourage somebody to spend money they don't have on a course like that, because the reality is that the vast majority of people on YouTube are not going to make a success of it. And even he says that out of all his students, it's like the top, 10% or whatever, who actually go on to make a big success. And he obviously touts the success stories, and all the other ones he doesn't talk about. So I think, the truth is, if you don't have that money to spend, don't spend it. All that information is available for free. And that's pretty much what I'm saying in my review. My review is going to go on my main channel. My main channel is my name, Louise Corrans, Corrans. But again, the course could be useful for somebody who does have the money to spend. I think his course is actually aimed at business people or wealthy people who are already on YouTube and seeing some kind of growth, but not fast enough. People who really want to make this into a business. And now, yes, I want to make mine into a living, but I actually don't want to create a business model like he has, where I have staff and I have editors and I have thumbnail designers and he's even got somebody coming up with concepts. He even has people who bullet point his scripts. He just sits down and talks. Now, to me, knowing all of that, knowing all of the behind the scenes of his channel, it actually makes, even though I love him and he does sort of speak very authentically and from the heart, knowing all of that actually makes his channel feel less authentic or business-like. It doesn't come from his heart anymore. Maybe it started off that way. And this is where I have the problem with his course, is because I personally, I enjoy, but this is now just me and my opinion and what I'm looking for out of YouTube. I personally enjoy the YouTubers who speak from the heart and where it feels very authentic and real, and it feels like I'm sitting down with a friend. I like that sort of style. I like the no bullshit approach. I like it when they tell you their honest opinion, where they are not sponsored, where they are not trying to sell you too much. I don't mind a little bit of sales, like, this is a great product. I actually use it, and hell, I've got an affiliate link because why not? That's fine. It's when it's pushy that I don't enjoy. It's so weird. I have such a love-hate relationship with sales. Like, I really, and yet I used to sell jewelry in a jewelry store, and I enjoyed that job. It was one of my favorite jobs. It's weird. And I think because I was selling a product that I really liked, jewelry, real diamonds, real gold. I loved the products. I actually enjoyed cleaning the jewelry. I loved it. I loved it. And we would have to, oh, shame, poor us, we would have to wear the jewelry sets so that we could advertise the jewelry. It was just, it was long hours, but it was a dream job in that we had to be groomed. We had to wear some makeup. We had to have neat nails. It was nice to be forced to look your best because it's very easy. We all know it's all too easy to just fall into a slobby, don't care sort of attitude, pattern, way of being. And I learned a lot. I got a lot of my dress sense and my style sense and fashion sense and all of that from working there. And it does matter. It doesn't really matter. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, who you are is what's important. How you look is not important, but it does matter. It does make a difference in how people treat you, sort of. Not really, but sort of. It is superficial. It's more that first impressions. It's more like for a job interview. It's more how you treated when you go into a restaurant, walk into a shop, all those sort of things. But yeah, it does matter in a way, maybe on a first date or whatever. So I know that in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter, but on a superficial level, it does. And it was nice to just be in that kind of environment where I learned so much. I mean, I learned a lot about, obviously, jewelry, diamonds, their value. I learned about, like I said, presenting myself to the world, and it was fun. It was nice. I think maybe another career I would enjoy if I was single would be to be a airline hostess. That would be also awesome. But anyway, sales, I have a love-hate relationship with sales. I can only sell if I believe in something. And with the PTYA, the Part-Time YouTubers Academy, because I won it as a scholarship, I don't know if I would have thought it was worthwhile. I do know for a fact, if I had paid the full price, I would have felt ripped off. That's for sure. I know that. If I had paid, because of the exchange rate in South Africa, our currency is so weak. That's why I say that. So if I had paid 18,000 Rand, 20,000 Rand, I would have felt ripped off. I mean, I've only made since 3,000 Rand. So for me to make back that full amount, if I paid the full amount for that course, it would take me what, like 6 months or more to make that back. Who's got that amount of time, especially when you're a single mother trying to support your kid? Yes, I've got help. Yes, I've got my boyfriend and all of those things helping me. So I always think, what if somebody's really trying to make an actual living, like food on the table living from YouTube, for them to fork out that amount of money, especially in a third world country? I mean, South Africa is a bit third world, isn't it? First world, third world. Let's say you're in, I don't know, what other countries, anywhere in Africa, anywhere where your currency is not strong, I wouldn't spend that money. It's a pity that they can't price it like the Big Mac index, where it would be a lower price in those countries, but they can't do that, I guess, because then it wouldn't be fair. Would I pay half the price? So if it were actual Big Mac index priced, would I pay, let's say, 9,000 Rand for that course? I'm going to still say no. Probably I would be comfortable paying between, what would I have paid for that course if I actually wanted to pay for it? 3,000 Rand, maybe 5 at the most. So if I had to translate that back to dollars, maybe, and Big Mac index equivalent, maybe $300 for that course. I don't know. The problem is all that information is available for free on YouTube. You just have to search. So if you are driven enough, I should probably make another review of this course and say this. If you're driven enough and you really want to make a success of your channel, you will find this information. You will search for it. It's all there on YouTube anyway. You just need to queue up a whole lot of videos that teach you how to do YouTube, how to succeed at YouTube. Because his advice is generic, and unfortunately, a lot of his advice didn't apply to me. I've learned that by just doing YouTube. And I've actually found that just experimenting, for example, with this channel, with my dating channel, with just being active on my main channel, that is how I have learned, by watching other YouTubers and by finding YouTubers whose style I want to mimic more. That is actually a fantastic way to learn how to do YouTube is to just, like anything in life, just copy, copy, copy. Copy the things and the ones that you want to be like. It's like in art. Copy your favorite artists until you find your own voice. That is the truth. So yeah, I think the Part-Time YouTubers Academy, it is worth it if you have the money to spend and you wouldn't be out of pocket and you wouldn't compromise your lifestyle at all. If it's spare money, spend it, because then there's all the information in one place. It's a course you can go through. You can go back to time and time again. Yeah. So I think if you are living in America, the UK, Europe, maybe Australia, wherever the currency is strong, and you really wouldn't be compromising yourself, your savings, anything, spend it. It's worthwhile because you have all that information in one accessible place. You don't have to go and hunt on the internet for that. But his advice is very Ali Abdaalish. If you listen to everything he says, your channel would just be like a copycat version of his channel. So therein is the problem. You would have to take his information and then make it your own. But yeah, so that is my like unsort of filtered thoughts on that. Maybe I will make another, but I like the review that I've already made. So anyway, I might do a second one. But you guys here on this channel, you get the unfiltered truth. So thank you for being here. Let's talk about my nails. These are the nails that I applied in my other video, how to apply the Kiss glue on nails. At a distance, they look like a real professional manicure. Okay, this thumb's got a bit of staining underneath it. When I bit my lip, I obviously did something, and it's disgusting, but I think it's blood that went under the nail and has gone in between where the glue isn't. It's disgusting. So hopefully that washes out over time. But this is day 4, and they don't feel like they're going to pop off. So I think it was the age of the glue on the other set that I did. So I think you need like a brand new set with brand new glue, fresh glue. You can't have nails that have sat there for 5 years. So it brings me back to what I was saying about the perfume I have, the Hypnotic Poison from like 8 years ago. It's gone rancid now. So sad, such a pity, because that perfume is so nice. I tested it in the shops the other day. It is so nice, and I have half a bottle that I can't use. What a waste. Such a shame. And I hate wasting money. This is where I'm not like some of these big YouTubers who do these shopping hauls. It just seems so wasteful. It really seems consumerist and wasteful to just buy. Look, I know they're doing it for their channel, and I know it's popular, but honestly, for the average person, you do need to be wise with your money. And that's why, again, I cannot sell the Ali Abdaal PTYA course just to anyone, because the honest truth is that most YouTubers are not going to make huge amounts of money from their channel. And for them to invest that amount, like I said, really depends where they're living. Also, because if you are living outside of these bigger countries, even for me to be an Amazon affiliate, I can't buy from Amazon.com and then show you products, because for us to get it into South Africa, the import duties are ridiculous. If that product even makes its way in, because of the shipping problems in South Africa, we've got cargo ships that are sitting, they cannot dock for days and days and days. So it's just crazy. So if you're outside of like the US or the UK or wherever, I think it is a different ballgame to be on YouTube. Not that you can't make a success of it, you can, and my channel is growing, but I think you've got to find your own way. That's kind of it. Anyway, so, but yeah, I think people must be careful of just listening to YouTubers and spending money. I honestly think that. And yes, I bought these because I'd watched tutorials on how to apply these nails, but so you can find good information. You just got to be really wise and think, would this work for me in the long run? Would it be a saving in the long run? I mean, you guys know, you've just got to be judicious with your money. It's your money. If you have earned that money, be very judicious with where you spend it, because money, yes, there's this flow of money and you've got to let it flow and all that bullshit, but you can, and it's very valid. You are allowed to hold on to your money. You don't have to just spend it. And of course, you should and can invest it, and you should and can put away for a rainy day. I mean, no one else is going to do it for you. And spending on big name brands, designer labels, and fancy cars. These things are, they're lovely. Luxury items are luxurious. But until you've got your own cushion, your own backing, then these things are a waste. They are not, that designer bag is not going to feed you in your retirement. Well, unless you can sell it for more. But that luxury car is only going to devalue the minute you drive it off the showroom floor. So unless you have all your retirement and all that planned for, don't waste your money. I don't know. That's just, the older I get, the more I think that way, that like I've said it before on my main channel, I have probably wasted, I have wasted some money on skin treatments. Was it a true waste? I don't know. I will never know how my skin would have looked if I hadn't done them. But I think to some degree there is a waste. Now, speaking of waste and skin treatments, this is just how, is it a belief or maybe it's a scientific fact? I mean, a dermatologist could tell us for sure. But one of my issues with skin creams and lotions is all these fancy like ingredients that they tout, and then it seems like every year or every 2 years there's this new fancy ingredient. It was back in the good old days, I don't know what did they use, but like Le Mer with marine extracts, and then it's this and then it's that, and it's vitamin C, and then it's ceramides and peptides, and now it's hyaluronic acid, and now it's squalane, how do you pronounce it? All these ingredients that we never heard of 20 years ago. I think, and I'm going to get it for you. Let me show you now. I'll come back. I think at the end of the day, just a good, plain, old-fashioned aqueous cream could really do the trick. So when I was younger, I had used, I think it was a Johnson & Johnson's aqueous cream. That one wasn't as, I like a more greasy feel. So I used it, but it wasn't great. I mean, I was in my 20s, but yesterday in the shops, I opened this one. Okay, it does smell like baby powder. And then I just put a little like test on my hand, and it was a lot more greasy than the Johnson & Johnson's one. This is the Purity Baby Aqueous Cream. And I just thought, why not? It's so cheap. This is the small tub. So I thought, let me just try a cheap small tub. And I actually used it on my skin last night after I washed my face. And my skin feels great. It feels fine. Honestly, you just need something as a barrier, skin barrier, really. And often when you go for these like laser treatments, they tell you to just use Aquaphor. Well, what is Aquaphor? It's like a glammed up Vaseline, isn't it? And Vaseline, what is Vaseline? It is liquid paraffin, I think, or something like that. And I mean, this stuff also, they say gently cleanses and protects delicate skin. So how would you use this as a cleanser? That's what I want to know. Because I'm thinking I might try this as a face wash. Would I be able to use this as a cleanser? Or do you just wipe it on your face? I don't know. So I think you can get away with really basic skincare. I honestly think so. And then just use something scientific like a retinol, and maybe vitamin C, and maybe keep it at that. And I've actually found a high-strength vitamin C serum on takealot.com, which is South Africa's answer to Amazon, for like 100 and something bucks. And yet you get these high-end brands like the Obagi, the vitamin C serums that are like close to 3,000 Rand. What a big price difference. And that boggles my brain, because if the active ingredient, the vitamin C, in whatever form is the best form for the skin, if that active ingredient only costs so if they're selling it for 100 Rand, it must only cost like 50 Rand to make 30 Rand. Why and how does Obagi, how can they justify charging like 3,000 Rand for like one active ingredient that cannot cost that much to put into a serum, surely. So this is where my brain sort of thinks about things like that. And like designer handbags, sure, they are well thought out. Like often they've got nice zips and pockets, and they've got quality like zips, quality buttons, quality straps. But how much more can that bag cost to make than a cheap bag, you see? And so you know that that designer is just charging for the name. And I'm not saying that these things are bad. I'm not saying if you want a designer bag, it's bad. They are beautiful, they are luxurious. I'm just saying that somebody on YouTube needs to tell people that you should only be spending that after you've got your savings in place, after you've got your medical aid in place, after you've paid your rent and all your bills are paid. Only excess money should go to these kinds of things. Like never, ever, ever put these things on a credit card. It's really, that's like finance 101. That's just my feelings and my thoughts. Even if you say, okay, I'm a bag girl, I love bags, bags are my thing. It's just, that's fine. Then you're going to have to cut back somewhere else. That's fine. But don't ever go into debt for a cute handbag or pair of shoes. And I love shoes. I love shoes, but I don't put myself into debt. Anyway, I'm going to ramble on too much. Oh, look at how nice and golden glowy my skin is. That is my self tan. It's the skinny tan. It's like the daily body lotion. It's lovely. So I'm looking really a bit nice and brown on my legs too. So the last thing I want to say is that I am. Is that my? What's that on the bed? Is that my book? Let's get that there. Yeah. Get that in place. So I've been home alone for 2 nights, and I had my stepson or my partner's son the one night my partner's away, and it's been so nice, the peace and quiet. Nothing against my partner. He's great. He's a wonderful person. He is so sweet and kind, and I love him, but I am the type of person who, sure, I love being alone. I love the quiet. I love just that time to sit and reflect and meditate and have my brain just empty. And being on YouTube, being a YouTuber, there's this constant pressure to upload, create, be in the game. And I know there is a space for calmness and meditation. I mean, if I look at Eckhart Tolle, I don't know how to pronounce it. People do want that calm, quiet space. But most YouTube advice is like, it makes you feel very nervous, and you have to filter out all the noise of the world, and you have to just get quiet and calm. And when I'm on my own, I have much more of a chance to do that. I can just sit with my own thoughts, which I love to do. I love my own company. I love people too, though. I love talking and I love communicating, but just if you would allow some silence, like just now on this video, when I fall silent, just embrace it and just let it bring your heart rate down to that calm. I find when life is busy, especially when my partner's here, he does stress a lot. We wake up and both of us we start to panic. We're panicking about finances and paying off bills and paying this and stress and stress and stress. And then my whole nervous system gets ramped up. And it's actually all okay. It's all okay. You can just take a breath and take a moment. And you can just know that no matter what happens, you will get through it. You will. And if you don't get through it and you end up facing death on this planet, well, that's also okay. I mean, none of us are guaranteed anything. And I think The problem is we are so terrified of death. And I am, because I would like to be around for my son. I'm not terrified of death. I'm terrified of leaving my son before he's old enough to fend for himself. So I'm not terrified of death, but I'm scared of leaving this little boy alone in the world. Because the world is, well, you know, you know what the world is like. But I invite you every day, if you can, just, and I'm talking to myself here, I forget. Take 10 minutes. I think 5 is too short. Take 10 minutes. Set a time on your phone. Just sit and close your eyes and try not to think. Although thinking happens, it's okay. But just try and close your eyes. Try not to think. And just allow that calm to wash over you. I'm going to go and make the most of my last sort of few hours until my son gets back from camp. My partner is going to come back today. And the painter's coming and there's people coming to the house. I'm just going to make the most of the last quiet time that I have. I will see you guys soon.